Welcome to Alpha Wolf Trading. Do you know that there's over 12,000 stocks or companies that trade on the OTC? Between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, you have over 7,000 companies. But us as retail investors, we wouldn't know that unless we were researching. Because why? Wall Street focuses on the elite, the big companies. And where the retail investor has their advantage is in small and micro-cap stocks. Why? Because you have the opportunity to speak directly with leadership. That is what this is all about here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We're trying to find the hidden gems, and we interview the executive teams of companies that we think meet the parameters to be those hidden gems. I also want to make sure you understand that this is not a paid-for promotion. I collect no compensation for the interviews I do here. These companies that I interview have been identified as potential opportunities for me and the members of Alpha Wolf Trading to receive a higher than average return on our investment. These companies I have identified either because of a technical setup on a chart, a fundamental change within the organization, management team, new products, all kinds of different things that actually lead me here. But what do I think is the most important? Leadership. And that is why I do these interviews. I want to understand what drives the person that is leading the charge. I want to feel their passion. I want to understand their vision and the strategy that they're going to use to achieve success. That is what these interviews are for. I want to understand the share structure and the cap table, the size of the TAM, the total addressable market. This is the opportunity to learn all of those things. So sit back and enjoy. And if you learn anything from today's interview, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Alpha Wolf Trading YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Good morning. It's Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with a follow-up, and I think this is a really good time to do it because technically the chart looks interesting, and fundamentally there's been a lot of interesting things happening as well. So I thought it would be a good time to get an update on what's happening over at OLB Group. I've got Ronny and Patrick here, and if you don't know who they are, well, you'll have to go back and watch the first video where I do a real detailed interview with these guys. Ronny, Patrick, thanks for coming in. How are things going?
Thanks for having
us.
How have things been going?
Well, things are going great. Actually, we are pretty much executing on our new stuff. That is the underbanked community. We have on the next 2 months, we're going to announce new products that we're going to bring on the table with those things. And I'm happy to invite you again, once we launch those products. So.
Okay, very good. So one thing I want to highlight real quickly, because I pay close attention to it, is there's been a lot of insider activity out there lately. And I'm just curious to know about how many insider shares have been purchased in the open market in the last couple months.
I think, answer Ronny or you mean?
Well, go ahead and I'll let.
I think between Ronny and myself was close to, I guess, probably 900,000 shares between the two of us. And there's been some other people too, but mainly the ones I keep up with the most are inside management, which are me and Ronny. So we're a little about 900 and I don't know the exact number, but over 900,000 shares.
Okay.
And we are telling openly to everybody that, we believe in the company. We're going to buy more stock, especially that, the plan is to spin off DMIT. So any shareholder of OLB is going to get shares at DMIT. So it's almost like no-brainer.
That's what I love about you, Ronny. You just tell it like it is. I mean, so look, I'll just say this. Insider buying is not a guarantee that the stock is going to go up. What it is, though, is it is more than you saying you like the stock.
and getting some stock options, you're going out there into the marketplace, you're ponying up out of your pocket to buy the shares in the open market. That is significantly different from getting stock options and saying, yes, I'm fully invested in the stock, right? Big difference. So when I see a good chunk of shares go by insiders, that typically means to be one thing, and that is because there's only really one reason why you buy, and that is that you feel as though it's undervalued at its current price level, right? So I'm just going to say that for those that are watching, and that's it. It's not a guarantee, but it is a very good sign, and I love to see, you know, upper management step up to the plate in the open market. So that's it. So let's talk about Dement, because you brought up Dement, and I know that, you know, if you didn't watch the first interview, they might have missed what's happening, but essentially you've got the underserved, and just what's the run rate on the underserved right now? Is that business profitable on its own?
The business, we are cleaning up the business at the moment, and it's doing approximately $5 million in revenues. We're making additional adjustments to the business, adding new products that I'm going to mention forward. But the business opens different opportunities to the 32,000 locations that we have access to, so including the mobile services as well.
Okay, speaking of mobile services, now you brought up another subject. But I saw two companies look like mobile services, cellular type companies that appear to have under the OLB group. Unless there's another OLB group out there, I have to think that that is you.
Yes.
You want to share who that is? I happen to see it on the internet, so it was kind of a chance run for me.
We bought two brands. One of them is Black Wireless, that is an AT&T service under our brand, and Mango Mobile, My Mango Mobile, that is a T-Mobile service. And there is a few thousand members already in the service, and we are planning pretty much to increase the service. We're adding now also eSIM, so instantly you can order eSIM online and get your activated online, pretty much.
Okay, so is that part of your new products that are coming, or do you even have more new products coming?
Well, we're going to have more new products, especially geared towards the underbanked community.
Okay, all right.
So you know, I don't want to reveal everything today, but you know, those are businesses that are already running, and we have revenues with them. So.
Awesome. Okay, so now let's back up and let's talk about the Dement. So for those that haven't seen the interview, know nothing about OLB, they have also a mining division, as I understand it, right? That's
Bitcoin mining, yes.
Right. Okay. And you have a facility. You were having trouble, if I'm not mistaken, getting power, right? The power company out there is a little bit on the slow side. And where are you at with that right now, Patrick? I mean, are you up to speed with the power there and the amount of machines that you can handle?
We've got some machines running there, but when we get done with the whole building, there'll be 20 megawatts of power. Right now, we're a little under 5. So we're still in the process of getting all the power and everything connected to the building. But we're making good progress.
Okay. And how many machines in total are you looking at having there?
Right now, we currently own ourselves. We have 1,000 machines, but when the building is built out, we'll be able to house right at 5,000 machines. Got
it. Okay, and we've got Bitcoin sitting somewhere, what, around 43?
Yes, around 47, I think. I looked at it yesterday. It could have dropped, you know how it is. So.
Right. But so for the shareholders of record, when your deal closes, that you're going to spin out Dement as their own entity, right?
Yes.
So when you do that, what do the shareholders of record get?
Okay, last year we filed confidentially an S1 with the Security and Exchange, and we got already first a letter of comments that we addressed, and we refiled. Just on Friday, we got another list of comments that we are addressing. And typically, you know, when you get comments, it goes down and down and down. In average, you're going to get anywhere between 3 to 5 rounds of comments from the SEC until you get approved. That's kind of the trend. I mean, it doesn't guarantee anything. Every time we file, it takes them 30 days to answer, and then we have to address the comments and answer as well. So we are in the process. All the comments that we are getting are definitely addressable and reasonable comments. So that's where we stand.
So there's nothing that you're fearful of, that the deal's not going to happen.
No.
This is normal standard operating procedure, right? You go back and forth until finally they say, okay, you're good.
It's a process. We're in the process.
Okay. When that process is completed, what do the shareholders that are currently in the stock, what do they get?
Okay, even before it's been completed, and we know that we are close to the final finish line, we're going to announce publicly that it's going to be a record date. So any shareholder that is a shareholder of OLB is going to receive pro rata the number of shares in DMIT.
It's going to get the equal amount of shares in DMIT?
Yes, so we don't have 100%. We're not holding anything into OLB holdings or stuff like this.
Okay, so that's where it goes back to being almost a no-brainer, right?
Yes.
I mean, to your point right now, you're technically, when you buy our stock, you're buying 2 stocks. So I mean, that's where we think it's kind of a no-brainer.
That math kind of makes sense, right? Just math. I mean, that does make sense. And would you say that the business, the underbanked business, is, would you call it, or you probably can't. So I'm going to say, I would say it to me, it's undervalued. Would you agree with that statement?
I do.
Well, we definitely agree with you, and our main focus for 24-25 would be on the underbanked community within OLB. So.
And one thing I just want to real quick, Tim, say is I think sometimes people get confused on when you say underbanked. And one thing I've kind of learned during this process, say somebody does not have a checking account. Okay, well then how do they order something on Amazon? How do they have anything that they have to pay like that? They have to get some type of electronic type transaction where they can move money. So it's like a prepaid debit card, which is what we're looking to do and what we're looking to add, stuff like that. We're based off transactions. We make our money off of a transaction, whether it's Visa, MasterCard, or a prepaid debit. So that's where we are looking to go to increase revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, in this case, even basic stuff that used to be in New York, the MTA cards, so now it's coming to an Omni card that basically you can buy at any bodega, activate the service, and use it on your phone.
Right. And that is needed, right? For a lot of reasons. I mean, there is a whole big population out there that does not have a bank account, does not have a credit card, right? How the hell do you know? I mean, literally, you know nothing about these people at all, right? Because you don't know what their buying habits are. You don't know anything about them. They're pretty much ghosts, right?
Yes. So what we're doing, we're working with our banks to get basically, if people are coming to a bodega and they put in cash, they should be able to load the money into their cards.
Right. No, I think it's a service that is absolutely needed, right? Especially if, and I do believe that at some point we will go to a cryptocurrency. I think one of the biggest holdups to go into a full-blown cryptocurrency is how do you get the people that don't have credit cards and phones and all that? How do you get them involved with that cryptocurrency, right? That's a pretty tough go. But now that we're giving out phones and And, hopefully we get them onto some kind of a prepaid card or that changes things dramatically. So, all right. So you got Dement spin out, you got 2 acquisitions and some new products coming. And so let's just talk about real quick. When we did our last interview, I think the stock was sitting right around the 55, 60 cents, somewhere in that area. And then it shot up to about $1.20, $1.15. And then it's pulled back. But here's the thing. From a technical standpoint, this is actually a really good looking chart. It's got a nice little cup with handle pattern, which is, you can see let me run over here. You can see this cup right here, right? And then you got this handle right here. And it's kind of hanging out in this area. And it might be people that are getting nervous that there's some kind of problem with the spin-off or whatever. You just clarified there is no problem. This is standard operating procedure. You're still moving forward. At some point, it will get done.
Yeah, it is, as you know, the Security and Exchange is looking very closely to anything that's related to digital currencies, or calling it crypto, even that it's not a crypto, it's a Bitcoin mining, but everybody is taking 2 sets of eyes to read all the documents that we're submitting.
So as I look at it, I'm looking at your chart and I'm saying, okay, in this area right around $1, and you guys are traded on the NASDAQ, right?
Correct.
That's correct. Okay. So when you're below $1, you get the notification from the NASDAQ that you've got X amount of days to get 180 days to get back above $1. And then if you don't do it in 180 days, they give you another 180 days. So you've got time, but you can clearly see where there is some resistance here right around the $1 mark. That's not by accident. The round numbers. Well, number one, you got to stay above $1 for the NASDAQ for 10 consecutive days, right? And number two, round numbers just have psychological meaning to people, right? You go from being a penny stock to a dollar stock, right? Which that's the deal. So you've had a pop up there, you've tested it as it being resistance, and now you've got these events that are kind of sitting in front of you. When you do the spin out of Dement, now what will that do you think, Patrick, to the OLB stock? Is there a plan to do a reverse split in this thing as well, or is that you comfortable that you can get the OLB portion of that stock above $1 without having to do a reverse?
I think my feeling is once we announce the record date of when everything's going to happen with Dement, we kind of solidify that process. I do agree with you. I think there's people that are saying, what's going on with it. And we're in the process with the SEC, so we hadn't really said a whole lot until we know more. But once we have that record date, and I think people think, okay, once again, I'm buying 2 stocks for 1. I think that will push us up. I mean, that's in my head. I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, we can always do the reverse split. That's not what we want to do. That's not our top option. But I think the Dement record date and Dement moving forward will be a big push for our stock.
Okay.
Well, we do have few months of before we're going to have to do a reverse split. So we will try to avoid the reverse split, because as everybody knows, you do a reverse split, typically stock goes down until it balances itself back. So yes, definitely the record date would help in this respect, but we're definitely going to try to avoid the reverse split if there's no choice.
So how many shares, since we're there, how many shares outstanding fully diluted are there?
I think they're pretty much in the same range, other than the shares that we purchased. So
okay.
And we announced also that last year we did the shares buyback by the company, so that itself adjusts.
Okay. But can you give me a rough number, Patrick, on how many shares there are?
I think we have around 18 million outstanding right now. Which
is still, so everybody knows, anything under 100 million to me is thin, right?
Agreed.
18 million is I mean, this thing could get so fun, but I don't want to get people too excited, but boy, could it get fun. So listen, is there anything you guys feel as though I've missed? I just wanted to do the quick follow up and kind of let everybody know that there's no big secret, and there's some problem with what your plan is. Your plan continues to move forward.
No, there's no any secret things or stuff like this. Unfortunately, we are relying on a lot of government entities, to get things done. So as we are patient, everybody have to be patient.
Right, got it. Go
Right,
ahead.
I think too that one of the reasons we're spinning off DMint is I think people get confused sometimes about our stock. When Bitcoin goes down, they think, okay, we're a Bitcoin miner, so our stock acts appropriately too. But when it goes back up, people are like, well, maybe it's not as big of a part of the company, so we'll leave it, we won't move. So I think people are sometimes kind of confused what the company is, when the majority of our business, 97% of it, comes from transaction-based processing, payments, electronic payments. So I think that once we split the company out, that will help the company.
Right. Okay. And each one stands on their own merits, right?
Yes.
How the power issue at the Mint, when do you think that will actually ultimately be resolved?
Well, I mean, we hope to resolve it before we get clear with the SEC and stuff like this, but we're going to be practically at this time in the finish line as well.
And I think one thing, because we're asked that question a lot, I mean, and more so than anybody else out there, I think that wants to get this completed is me and Ronnie and the people in the company. So we're working as hard as we can to do this. There's nothing we're doing to drag our feet or anything. We're doing everything we can to get it done.
Right. You're dealing with the power company and contractors, and they're moving at their own pace, and it's not like you can make them do anything faster.
Exactly. I mean, we're like I said, people are saying, you got to be patient. We're as impatient as anybody else on this, and we're doing everything we can to move it.
I'll bet that's a fun job site to be on. All right, listen, guys, I'm excited for you. I think things are going to get more and more interesting as you finish these two deals up, and you can start announcing your plans for the new product. So this is exciting. I look forward, Ronnie, coming back and getting an update when you're ready for that. And I'm sure it's going to be a very happy conversation.
And I'm telling you, team, stock is definitely undervalued. That's initially why we are buying stock, and the spin-off as well. So,
okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. If I were you, if you're watching this, OLB is the symbol. Go to their investor relations portion of their site. Sign up for their email alert service. That way you can keep up to date, real time. Whenever they put something out in the press, it'll go directly to your email. Pay attention to the stock because it's starting to get exciting. So, all right, guys, thanks for coming in. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn this off. Unless you feel as though I missed anything.
No, I think we did a pretty good job. We appreciate you having us on today.
All right. Hold on a second. Thank you for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Trading. Today we had Ronny Yakov and Patrick Smith from OLB Group. And I hope you enjoyed today's interview. If you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because why? Those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Trading. And it gives me the sense that there are people out there that appreciate the content and would like me to continue to do more. So thank you very much. If you can smash that subscribe button, I will be very, very pleased. And until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Trading wishes you the very best of success.